Thanks to the support as a channel member, Squaddy Jacob. Well, it couldn't be much tighter than this for the run-in at the end of the season. 3 games remaining. We could still win the league. We could still get promoted automatically. We could still finish in the playoffs. We could still finish outside of the playoffs. And first up, we play a team 1 spot above us in the league. There is the potential for this to get quite stressful, I think. Since you were last with me, we had a little run where everything looked all right, but by and large, since Arsenal, we've not been in very good form, and we weren't very good form going into that Arsenal game. We haven't really picked up off the back of it. We went from the 26th of January all the way through to the 5th of March without winning a game. We then won 3 on the bounce, but we've only won 1 since then, all of which means the league table looks like this with 3 games to go. Mansfield are top on 78 points. Cambridge and Southend, 2nd and 3rd, both on 76. We're 4th, so 1 spot outside of automatic promotion. Top 3 go up automatically. We're on 75 points, as are Grimsby behind us in 5th. Tranmere are on 73. Chesterfield are on 72 at the bottom of the playoffs. And Bradford there on 71 in 8th place, only 4 points behind us with 3 games to go. I mean, Bradford could still win the league, and they're not even in the top 7 at the moment. It's going to be mad. We play Southend away. That's going to be quite important. If we don't get a result here, I think we're probably resigning ourselves to the playoffs, and I hate the playoffs. But this is the team we are sending to Southend. It's Ranson in goal, a back 4 of Patterson, Brown, Noble and Connor, Smith and Farkas in midfield, Thomas on the left, Nelson on the right, Day and Moncur up front. We have injuries, boys and girls. Reece Dottin, as you can see, he misses today through injury. We've also got an injury. I wish this was in some kind of order. There's Archer. Archer is injured. It's not ideal. It's not an ideal moment to have to start faffing around with what has been such a successful front 4 for us this season. And we really need Moncur to step up and show us that we were right to have that trust with him at the start of the season. He's not really demonstrated anything to suggest he's not useless. But now would be a nice time for him to just get a hat-trick today, and then we can release him at the end of the season. Never think about him again, but he'll always know he did his bit. I'm not feeling hugely confident. Form has been rotten. And the Arsenal result sorted us out financially. Remember, only for the season. It's not like we're sorted out for the rest of the decade or anything. It's kept our heads afloat this season. We're going to have to do it again next year to stay afloat next year. We hemorrhage so much money on a month-to-month basis. But it sorted us out financially for this year, but at what cost? That is lovely from Johnny Day. Plays it across to Moncur, who now has his 3rd goal in 32 matches. He's supposed to be a striker, and he needs to buy Johnny Day Twix or something to thank him for setting that up on a plate. I mean, Ollie Thomas has been benefiting from that all year long. Day is superb, and that goal, if things stay as they are, makes a huge difference. It looks like Mansfield might be losing, so we go up level on points with Mansfield as it stands. Cambridge currently top of the league. Southend obviously dropped below us. Grimsby, I guess, must be losing as well. Mansfield aren't playing. So it's not that they're losing. They'll end up with a game in hand, but we want the position. We don't care. We don't care about games in hand, goal difference, points, anything. We just want position in the league. And if we go into those final 2 games, 3rd with 3 teams going up automatically, we're happy. That, as far as I'm concerned, leaves things in our hands. Day's dropped deep to try and get something up and running again, and the ball's played out to Thomas wide on this left-hand side, who goes past his man. Moncur is there again. Moncur has decided to score a hat-trick and get released at the end of the season, never to be heard from again. He liked the sound of that as a deal. And I'll do my bit. I'll release him straight after the match if he scores a hat-trick, if that's what he wants, if that's what it takes. He can be on his way to pastures new by 5 o'clock today. Just needs 2 more goals. Right, Noble wins the header, but it goes straight back to the Southend midfielder. I could do with the half-time whistle here, please, ref. This is a worrying time to get a worrying looking highlight. They've got themselves into a crossing position. Cross does come in. Smith has headed that clear. He's been a very useful signing for us at the base of that midfield on loan from Villa. I don't know if we've got any chance at all of signing him permanently, but Goodness me, we might try. Right, Thomas to Smith. And now back to Thomas again. And let's just check back in on that league table. Cambridge still top of it. Cambridge being top is horrible, by the way. I'd almost, and I don't want to make this deal with the universe, so I'm just speculating that this is almost what I would do. I would sacrifice our promotion to make sure they didn't get promoted. If there was a way to do that. And I'm sure, I mean, if we put it to a vote of the top 7 teams and we were like, look, are we all willing to vote that neither us nor Cambridge are allowed to go up? I think the vote would pass. It might not be an issue because Southend have scored. And as it stands, that puts us back down to 4th, which does leave us with a lot to do. I mean, it's not impossible. We're still only 3 points off the top of the league with 2 games to go, but we don't play anybody else at the top there, which in isolation, I guess means we don't have any more super hard games, but at the same time means it comes out of our hands then because yes, we can win both of our games, but if everyone else does as well, it doesn't matter. And that is not a nice situation to be in. I would like to avoid that if at all possible. Moncur has given the ball away there, trying to win it back, gives it away. Luckily, Ranson is there to make a pretty good save. And I'm going to offer some encouragement to my young friends in the hope that they can conjure something up. We need a magic moment from somebody. And I know we've had a lot of them this season, but I'm asking for one more because we'd all like to go back to back to back. But we do need to win here to make it happen. Seraphin's injured, so we don't have another left back to come on. Everyone's dropping like flies. It's almost as if we've played a lot of football. We don't really have an attacking change. Bruno Sena or Warren Taylor. That was a partnership that wasn't good enough for the league below. I don't think they're the men to bring on in this situation. Cook can come on. Burke can come on. And I guess Shield can come on. Connor, we're at a little bit of a stalemate contract-wise with Connor. He wants a big contract that we can't currently afford to give him, but I've promised to give him a contract. I offered him an extra £200 a week. He said no. He's in a huff. So it might be a case of not using him for the final couple of matches, even though he's our best right back, because he's in a huff. Right, Cena's going to come on for Thomas. We're going to put Moncur out onto the left-hand side, and he's just going to have to like it. He's not very good anywhere, so I don't think he does too much damage out there. I'm not bringing Taylor on. I just can't imagine a scenario where Taylor's an upgrade on any of those 4 players. Right, we've got a corner, and we've got big Bruno Sena lurking. Can he have a moment? Burke can! Harrison Burke has scored his first ever goal for Bedford, and it couldn't come at a more important moment. We've done an near post corner. What a time to be alive. What a header from Burke as well. Lovely stuff. It's now 2-1 to Bedford. Less than 10 minutes to go. Part of me thinks we bring Compton on now for one of the strikers and try and shut up shop. Well, I guess we're not going to do that. I mean, I have learnt this season to adjust in an attacking manner when we're trying to chase a game. I haven't yet learnt to close games out. And there's a perfect example of it. Although, to be fair, I didn't even have time to there. They've scored pretty much immediately from the kickoff. Can we do the same back to them? Nelson on the right-hand side skins his man. Sena's there! Oh! Bruno Sena. I mean, he makes good contact with it, but it flies wide. And that's not ideal. I mean, I've said this a lot this season, it feels like. In isolation, this is a good result. Southend are a good side. We're away from home. A draw here. It's a good point. But it doesn't help us with 2 games to go when they were one of the teams above us. We needed to beat them. We can still go up. It's just a lot harder now. Well, Connor has made my decision about whether or not to use him while he's in a grumpy a little bit easier by being added to the injury list. So Shield comes in for him. Reece Dottin is fit enough to come back into the team. So he comes in on the left. Nelson stays in on the right, which means Thomas can go back up front. We are down to the bare bones. Although I guess we've got our strike partnership back together for this one. And we're also down to 5th in the league as things stand with those games in hand being played. And we're still only 3 points off top with 2 games to go. But being down in 5th does leave a lot of obstacles in our way. All we can do is try and win these final 2 matches and hope that it's enough. That's the league table. I mean, it's very, very tight. Shrewsbury, who we're playing today, down here. They're a team we should definitely beat. And I think there are some big matches being played. Grimsby against Crewe. Mansfield against Southend is huge. I don't even know what I want to happen in Mansfield versus Southend. I guess if we're serious about, if we're 3-0 up, we want them to draw. If we're going to struggle, we want, I guess, Mansfield to win to push Southend out of contention. But yeah, I guess if we're thinking in terms of maybe still trying to win the title, we want a draw there. Thomas has got in behind here. Thomas couldn't keep it down, but I mean, it's actually a save. It's led to a corner. So he's done better than I thought he had on first inspection. This is not nice to see. I've traditionally hated playing against this system. It causes me all kinds of problems. And hopefully it's not going to cause all kinds of problems today, he says. It just means we don't have any extra men in those defensive midfield or the centre-back positions. But I guess it frees up our wing-backs a little bit. I'm almost thinking, and I might be thinking too much, maybe thinking's dangerous, but some kind of inverted wing-back to get an extra body in there might not be the worst plan in the world, but we also want him up on the overlap, and Thomas has hit the post there. Thomas is going to upset me today, isn't he? He's going to have one of those. He's back up front. Is he going to have one of those days? After Moncur scored in the last game, albeit with a tap-in. But I'm looking at Patterson thinking, could Patterson invert? Or do we need him on that overlap? I mean, they've got no width. We probably don't want to be countering them. We want to be playing our own game, which means the overlap, keep it wide. We don't want him tucking in because we are getting a lot of space out wide and we do benefit from crosses. And there's Nelson trying to get a cross in. We've won a corner. Are we going to get to see the corner? We are. This is a rarity. Maybe we'll score it. If we did this 2 games in a row, that'd be spectacular. Shields with a wild effort that was never testing the goalkeeper. And it remains 0-0. We're just over halfway through this first half. I am feeling tense, boys and girls. I want the automatic promotion. I've got sweaty palms. I do not want the playoffs. Playoffs are hideous, as we are all aware. But, I mean, just don't. Oh, it's horrible. I'm not enjoying myself at all. Oh, God. Oh, God. I need to lie down. I've run out of blood pressure medication. I need to go to the pharmacy. This is not the run-in for a day when I've not taken my medicine. Oh, I feel like my eyes are going to burst out of my skull. It's fine. It's only a computer game. Loosen the tie. Oh, the stress. No, we must stay professional and put together. The boys expect it. I could shout at them. Maybe that will help. Right. I dare not even look at the league table until I know what's going on. Until we're ahead. Until we're ahead, the league table doesn't matter. Right, we're getting to see another corner here. It's going to be Brown to take again with that in-swinger, looking for Thomas again. And once again, Thomas can't make contact with it. I don't know why we're seeing the corners when we so often don't. Day brings it down beautifully. Thomas is there. I think Day was offside. He looked offside as he received it. It was a beautiful touch. But yeah, he was offside. So it didn't matter how good the touch was. That's probably why it was such an easy touch. No one was challenging him because they all knew he was miles offside. But it is Shrewsbury trying to build from the back end, but Reece Dottin intercepts. That's good work from him. And now Thomas out wide on the left has got Day in the middle if he wants to use him. Plays it back to Reece Dottin. Now Smith Farkas has got space. What a goal from Farkas. He has absolutely walloped it for 1-0. Oh, this is a good goal. 6 for the season now from Farkas. I don't really consider him a goal scorer, but 6 goals from defensive midfield is not a bad return at all. And I'm trying to have a tentative look at the league table to see if it even helps. You know, I was going to click do it on there. I'll play for set pieces. We're actually finally starting to get some that are highlights, but I'm not going to click to do it. I'll click do it if you offer it to me again. Right, Day out to Nelson, then Day in his favourite spot in between full-back and centre-back. And that's number 26 for the season for Johnny Day, boys and girls. It is Johnny Day. Lovely stuff. How many times have we seen him make that run between those two players? They just can't cope with it. Right. We're going into the final day needing things to go our way as things stand. which I guess is not ideal, but it's better than going into the final day not in with a chance. Oh, that's a good goal. Not in with a chance of getting promoted. I think this secures us the playoffs if it ends as it is. It's a big if with them grabbing a goal back. So let's not count our chickens just yet. But yeah, this would be playoffs as a minimum if we hold on. This is where, again, we could look into that whole shutting down the game thing. We're not going to. Restotting is shattered. He probably shouldn't even be playing today. Where's what's his face? Where's Moncur? Well, that's not ideal. I guess Cena's coming on then. And then we're also going to bring on Cook. Farkas is tiring as well, so Compton can come on for him. We're just trying to keep everybody as fresh as possible. And those two defensive midfielders have had a tough game. They don't usually have to look after a player each the way they're having to today. Noble heads clear to Rhys Dottin, who's still on the pitch for now. This is going to be his final contribution. Day out to Patterson. Thomas has got him behind again. And, I mean, he has missed some chances today, Ollie Thomas. He is not having his finest performance in a Bedford shirt. And I really, really hope we don't get punished for it, because he has had... I mean, they're obviously not sitters because we're on an XG of less than 1. So he's not missing sitters, but he's missing chances that we'd expect him to score normally. Right, Lucky is going to come on, and let's hope he is. And then this is where I'm supposed to take off like one of the attackers and bring on Burke, aren't I? Dare I? I mean, this is completely uncharted territory, but we've had it work the other way at points this season. So I hate it. I really hate it. But we're going to do it. And we're going to kind of do that, I think. And then I guess we need to drop back to balanced. Is it horrible? Yes. Does it matter if it works? No. I'm just so worried about this. And I think having the extra body in there helps deal with this. Just no more highlights, please. No more highlights required. No more highlights. We're going back to cautious. No more highlights. No more highlights. Oh, I'm becoming such a big boy in my old age. I'm doing tactics. It's horrible. I feel filthy. Right. Going into the final day, we've left ourselves with a lot to do, even with that result. We're 2 points behind Grimsby, 3 behind Cambridge and Mansfield. We're looking at the goal difference, realistically, we can't win the league. All we really care about is what Grimsby are doing. So, what are Grimsby doing? If we jump forward to next weekend, Grimsby play Cambridge. Oh my word. Right. A Cambridge win or a draw would mean this is the nightmare scenario. We need Cambridge to win so we can't finish above Cambridge. Unless Grimsby win like 8-0, we've got to hope Cambridge win and then win our game against Bromley, who need a result to get into the playoffs themselves. This is so tough. What a horrible last day. Right, we have our first choice front four for the final game of the season. Rhys Dottin only has 2 goals compared to everyone else well into double figures. To be fair, though, he does have more assists than everybody else. That does kind of reflect how this 4 play together. But yeah, Archer comes back in on the left. Rhys Dottin moves back over to the right. Otherwise, it is the same team as the previous match. Yes, I know Archer's tired, but goodness me, do we need his big physical presence, those far post headers, far post tap-ins from the Rhys Dottin cross. We're missing Connor. We're not going to have his deep crosses, but Shield can push forward on the overlap. And all we can do today is do our bit and hope that big result at Cambridge goes our way. We can't do anything more than that. But first of all, I mean, job one, beat Bromley at Bromley, which is, it's easier said than done. They're going to want to get into the playoffs. We're in the bro bed, which is, I mean, is it going to be a happy place or a sad place? Ranson makes the save. Maybe the bro bed is a happy place. And, I mean, they're playing a hideous looking flat back six, the bunch of cowards. But we're fine. We're fine. We are fine. Look at Reece Dottin on the way, releases Day, and now back with Reece Dottin again, looking for that far post ball to Archer, to Thomas. Patterson crosses in. Reece Dottin's not the man to aim for, but he lays it off to Farkas. Shield. There's that overlap we were talking about. And now Archer from range. He's hit the post. And Day couldn't quite get there ahead of the Bromley keeper. That would have been a little nerve settler early on, which would go down very, very nicely indeed. Checking in on this other match, it's at Grimsby. So it's Grimsby 0, Cambridge 0 at the moment, which if we were to win this game would be enough for us to move above Grimsby. So the onus is on them to win the match. But if they do, they've got to absolutely thrash Cambridge so that we can catch them on goal difference, which I'll be, after the narrative of this season, I'll be gutted if we miss out to Cambridge on goal difference. They throw the match. Oh God, Grimsby are winning. This is a disaster. Because we need like a 10-goal swing now, which isn't going to happen. That is the only bad result that could come out of the other match is a Grimsby win. Unless they're like 4-0 up already. They're 2-0 up. I tell you what, have we got goal difference on here? How do we see goal difference? So goal difference is 30. Right, we need a 5-goal swing from here. All out attack, anybody? If Grimsby score a couple more, we're going to have to, I'm going on up front. We're throwing everybody forward. Casagrande's coming on to play striker. He's a big boy. I mean, none of it matters if Bromley score here. I guess none of it matters. We've absolutely bottled it. Unless Cambridge can turn it around, but they've got no incentive to. I'm getting choked up. They know I hate them. So they're like, well, he's losing. We're going up anyway. It doesn't matter. Oh. Right, come on. Before half time, you bunch of wallies. This is a disaster. Right, go attacking. I don't know what to do. I think we've just run out of steam. Our squad's just too small. We don't have a sensible additional option on either wing or up front. And we just lost some attacking firepower when it mattered. And the ones that are still in there are shattered, and it shows. We're not dominating games anymore. We're not scoring loads of goals anymore. And we've just, I mean, it's been a valiant effort. We've just ran out of oomph. And I don't know if we're going to get the oomph back to be able to handle the playoffs, because we could potentially have to play Bromley in the playoff semi-final, depending on how things end up. And if they go into it having beaten us, they're going to feel super confident about that. They're going to have all the momentum with them. And we've got to pick ourselves up knowing that they've already ruined our season once. It's going to be tough. We need to sort ourselves out. This is a very long highlight. Right. Come on. Demand more. What's going on here? It's still 2-0. There's no signs of more Grimsby goals or a Cambridge fight back. It's the worst scenario. Sat there looking at them being 2-0. What about Mansfield? Are Mansfield catchable? Are they losing? They are losing to Walsall. Oh, God. Again, we're not going to catch them on goal difference either. Not that it matters because we're losing. We're not catching anybody on goal difference. Right, Monker's coming on. He's got to come on for Archer. Archer's shattered. But that's not the end of it. because we're also going to bring on Nelson for Shield and get him forward. Right, so we want him in there. He's going to be a target man. Everyone shuffle. Does that work? No, that's too far for him to go. Maybe he goes to there. Yeah, okay. Is that what we're doing for now? This seems silly. Let's just central that up a little bit. We got another attacking option. Do we bring Casagrande on up front? Maybe not yet. At this point, we're just trying to save face against Bromley in case we have to face them again in the playoffs. I don't think we're going up automatically, and it's very upsetting. Right, Reece Dottin's shattered now. This is the problem. No, half of them weren't fit coming into this. Taylor's going to have to come on, and he is useless. We just don't have anybody else. Right, we're going to bring on Cook for Patterson. And we're going even more attacking. Where is he? There. Go there. Does that work? They drop back in there. I think everyone can reach those positions. They can. It's absolute madness. Just swap those two over. Make him a playmaker. Look, I can't give it any more than this. This is bonkers. In fact, it probably makes sense for him to be out there because at least he can play on the wing. There we go. Well, this is how we end the season, in this ridiculous shape. Oh, dear. I guess we're doing the playoffs. And because we're now back to normal 5 days a week, you got to wait 2 days for the playoffs. We've got to sit and sulk with this for the entire weekend. Balls. Oh, we've gone to 5th in the end. We've absolutely bottled that. Chasing the FA Cup money has ruined us, right? It's going to be Tranmere with a potential final against a Bromley or Southend, who are both problematic. We can't beat either of them. If we'd have been able to beat either of them, we wouldn't be in this pickle in the first place. I'm very cross. But if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.